Greetings and welcome to the Place to Be Oshkosh. I'm your host, John Neiman with COTS. We're glad that you could join us for our January, I have to say this right, 2023 show. That is going to be really hard to write on checks. I know you're looking at me saying checks. I still write checks, I'm sorry. So, January 2023 show. So excited that you could join us. Our sponsors, I have to thank our sponsors who make this show possible. And the sponsors would, of course, be COTS, who's a wonderful monetary sponsor for us to put this show on the air. And also Karen at the Oshkosh Herald, a great community newspaper. You want to know what's going on in our community? Karen will tell you and she'll show you in that wonderful paper with lots and lots of pictures. Set design is by Brian at UBloom. If you've not been to UBloom, you've got to go there. It's not just floral, it's clothes, it's candy, it's goodies. He's got so many good things and we thank him for the set design that he gives us. Where can you watch us? We're on Life TV on Spectrum. This is what I meant. Yeah, I talk and everything comes right on the screen. So also we're on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and just put in Oshkosh Media, all the shows and including my show will show up and you can see the past shows and the new shows. We're also on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, etc. So please join in and watch the show. Also, then, if you want to know what else is going on at Oshkosh Media, go to their website. You can see all the shows on Life TV and their schedule during the week, and also on Government TV. So this show, this January edition show, will air 5 of the 7 days of the week for the entire month of January. So you might get sick of seeing my face and my guest's face, but hey, we're out there to share information with you. I want to talk a little about December. I'm going to go back a little and talk about our wonderful community. We live in a great giving community. And not only COTS, but other organizations were blessed by the generosity of donors, of people who thought of residents, thought of children, thought of people in need by donating either money, food, or personal gifts. And I love that. You know, Oshkosh's new logo is Discover Oshkosh. That's the point of this show, is for you to discover all the good things in Oshkosh. You might learn something a little more about a not-for-profit agency, or you might learn something new about an agency you never heard of before. Talk about volunteering in the winter. I know you're thinking it's winter, volunteering, but there are some things that you can still continue to do to help agencies. One that you could do is when you grocery shop and you see those items, buy one, get one free. Why not get the one free and donate it to a local food pantry, such as the Oshkosh Community Food Pantry or Salvation Army, because there's always a need for food. Everybody concentrates on food during Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then January comes and there's like a lull. So you can always donate to your food pantries. Also, children in school, they get all this new stuff at Christmas time, and what happens to their hats, their mittens, and their scarves? They lose them. So schools are always looking for donations of hats, mittens, and scarves so their children can be protected during the winter months. And I'm also thinking too, with all the snow that we have been receiving, why not help out a neighbor? If you see somebody shoveling, why not give them a hand? Or even better, if they're using a snowblower, help them out and get to know your neighbors that way too. So there's a lot that you can do during the wonderful winter months that we're going to experience as we are in January. And also, I just wanted to mention our downtown care team that we partner with the State Street Center. I know you're thinking it's winter. You can't be cleaning up the downtown. We are. So if the weather is nice, and for me, nice in 30 degrees, that's warm, we're still going to go downtown and we're still going to help clean up the downtown because it's something that we want to do and it's a way for us of giving back. So we're going to run to commercial right now. Stay tuned and we'll be back for our second segment of The Place to Be Oshkosh.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hi, welcome back to the Place to Be Oshkosh, January 2023 edition. I'm here, and I was going to say with old friends, but when you say when you're with old friends, they think that you're old. And I don't mean old in age, but we've known each other. We've been in a lot of different stuff for a while, and also a new friend, David, who helps out with my program at COTS. So Terry and David, if you want to introduce yourselves and tell what your role is at Goodwill.
I'm Terry Horner, and I am the mission team leader for the Financial and Debt Solutions. I have 8 counselors that will provide any kind of financial help as far as like debt management plans, budget counseling. We offer education, things like that.
Awesome. I'm David Forsch. I work in our employment and training program as the program leader for our Skills to Build program, which basically tries to meet people where they're at, working on soft skills, employability skills, and digital skills. I can get into more details later about eligibility and how you can get involved, but it's a really cool program, relatively new within the past couple of years, and we're really excited to roll it out into Oshkosh and other surrounding areas. And
we appreciate that. David has been taking over my house meetings with my residents. They kick me out, and they'd rather listen to David talk. So that's okay, because it's nice to hear another voice. But it's nice to have someone else come in and talk to our residents and give them different ideas on things that they can do, how they can act, where they can go. So let's talk about Goodwill to begin with. When most people hear, just like when most people hear St. Vincent de Paul, they think of a thrift store. Mm-hmm. They don't think of everything that goes with it. When people think of Goodwill, they think of a thrift store.
Correct.
What is Goodwill? Now, we only have a certain amount of time, but there's so much more to Goodwill that I don't think a lot of people know about. Mm-hmm. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, Goodwill provides many different programs. We have a mission, and that is to elevate people and eliminate their barriers to employment. So we provide pathways of skill building for financial stability, sustained employment. We provide the soft skills that David does to help people who may have issues with running a computer or learning how to do soft skills. I could probably use a lot of help with that too.
Which makes sense, because you guys are ahead of the curve, because the schools are doing this now, partnering with the senior center and bringing them in to teach that kind of stuff. But I honestly, Oshkosh is my hometown. I've lived here my entire life. I shop at Goodwill because I love the deals. Mm-hmm. I didn't know all this was going on. I just knew about the employment part of it. But right. You do so much more than that. And when you say Terry, I'm sorry. When you say Terry, you say Fisk. That's how I've known you. If I could remember her last name, I would say it's Terry from Fisk.
Right. But we're no longer Fisk.
Right. Yes. which is something to mention.
Right.
And the financial stuff that you do. So I want you both to talk about the exciting things that you do to help people.
Okay. So we help people by providing them with knowledge. Knowledge is power, and the more knowledge they have, the more powerful they are. So we are trying to build a really strong community. We service the entire state of Wisconsin. How many stores do we have now?
28, I believe, or so. Yeah,
28
Wow.
stores. So we also offer a really awesome program right now. It is called Career Accelerate Wisconsin. It is a collaboration between Rawhide, Goodwill, and Fox Valley Technical College.
And I want to just say, I told you that would happen. This crew is great. You mention it, it's on the screen. So for our radio audience, and yeah, we also are on the radio. For our radio audience and TV audience, you can see, and this is a brand new, I know you were excited when we talked about this, but this is a brand new program, and I love the collaboration idea. So you're collaborating with other groups.
Yes, and what we're doing is we're providing the entire wraparound service. The people who maybe have an issue keeping a job or getting a job because of a mental instability, maybe they have PTSD, maybe they suffer from lack of respect for authorities or something like that. I have a lot of clients who just simply cannot maintain a job or retain a job due to the fact they can't handle somebody telling them what to do. So by collaborating with Rawhide, we are actually putting navigators into the classroom with these students, and they can actually walk them through the training process so they can make it fit their needs. We're trying to meet people where they're at. So there are 8 different certificate programs that they're offering. They are, you can see them on the screen, the educational and health services. They're having nursing assistants, early childhood teacher aide, construction, the woodworking technician, pipe trades, manufacturing with welding fundamentals, industrial manufacturing, technician apprentice, truck driving and maintenance, professional truck driving, Class A and Class B CDLs, heavy-duty vehicle maintenance, diesel technology assistant. These are all certificate programs, and they're 1 or 2 semesters, correct? Yes.
And when you look at those programs that were listed on there, we're talking about people making decent money.
Yeah.
We're talking about a decent salary when you look at all those professions that are on there. You don't, I mean, I went to college and my kids, but you don't have to go to college to do this, to learn a trade, and trades are in.
Right.
And we need the trades.
And it's interesting that you say that, because when I remember growing up, I was always told, go get a 4-year degree, go get a 4-year degree. And a lot of people heard that over the years. And so now, as you mentioned, we have these some of these trade fields that are very in demand right now.
Yeah.
But we don't have enough people and skills to fill it. And so hopefully this program can help empower people to do that and fill one of those very needed fields and make some pretty good money.
And what's really exciting to me about this program is that after they are done with the program, we have been working with employers to where they can actually get a job. And we're providing them.
As you're talking about that, so on the
Yeah.
screen they're showing the visuals of the different jobs.
That's awesome. And then we're also providing the wraparound service for a year after they are done. So it's not just go through this program and you're on your own. We are there for them. We're going to hold their hands. We're going to help them make it.
See, and I knew, not just because I know you both, but I knew that this program was special because of that reason, the wraparound. COTS is the very same thing. If somebody they can stay at the COTS for 2 years, but they're not dismissed then. We do a 3-year follow-through on them, and that's what I think is important, because somebody might stumble, somebody might fall, they might need help again, and you're there to do that. And I love the word wraparound. That's really cool, because you're wrapping your arms. Is that what it meant? Wrapping your
Yes,
arms?
it did.
Did I translate that way? Okay.
You did, John.
Okay. But wrapping your arms around them. I just think this is really cool, and I love the collaboration idea with it.
Yeah, I was so excited when I read this. This wasn't even in my wheelhouse or job description, but I kind of just ran with it because it was so exciting.
So, David, are you going to have a part of this, or?
Yes, so I'm collaborating with Fox Valley Tech and our Rawhide partners to develop the soft skills and the kind of the orientation and resource packets that we're going to give to the students. So we talk early on in an orientation with them that here are some of the skills that are going to be helpful for you: how to stay motivated, how to handle your time, how to work well with others. Because you're not going to be alone in this process. You might meet some friends, you might meet some other students that you could work well with, and so we kind of give that information up front, and I'm partnering with them to build that. And then we're also partnering to build kind of what it looks like for that wraparound support, so that if someone, as they go through, is really having a hard time with the homework or the assignments, maybe they're really stressed out, well, they'll be able to meet with one of those career navigators to help walk them through and talk them through and hopefully plan something to get them back on the right track.
So what's the age level or the grade level? That
18 and up.
18 and up. Yep.
18 and up. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
They can be 100. If they can drive a truck, they can still get their CDLs.
There you go.
But another really exciting thing with this is that for us, for the financial stability portion of it, we're not just going to throw them to the wayside. They can stay with us for years if they're in the coaching program. And that is something we're kind of like aiming toward, getting them outcomes rather than just ideas. They set a goal, we want them to reach it. and we can help them develop the plan to get there. And that's what's so exciting, because we're going to hold them up. We're not keeping them down.
Which I don't think, when people in our community go to Goodwill, they don't understand the stories behind the people who are working at Goodwill. As an example, Cindy from COTS, she constantly says to us, get them in Goodwill. If a resident comes in and they don't know what they're doing, or they've had problems along the way, whether it's alcohol, drugs, things like that, Goodwill has a support team. You understand the client, you work around their schedule if they have to have counseling or anything like that. That I didn't know either, not till I joined the COTS team. That I think is really cool. You're not just an employer.
You know, I honestly think that Goodwill is the only place I've ever worked that you weren't expected to check your baggage at the door.
I love that. That is really cool.
Yes.
You said some profound things, dude. I gotta remember that one though. Yeah, because you want them to bring their baggage in and unpack it for you,
Yes,
so you
exactly.
can see what their life is all about.
And you know, that's the philosophy on our counseling too, is you bring in your suitcase and we help you unpack it. And then we repack it with the things you actually need. So that is how we focus on our counseling.
And so you've mentioned this before, David. So
Yes.
what is a soft skill?
Yeah, soft skill in my mind is really what kind of skills that are necessary for communication, relationship. You know, when you think about hard skills, it's putting together something, it's using your hands, maybe a lot more technical. But soft skills are, you know, the stress management, how to stay motivated, how to keep a positive attitude, how to be determined, and
It's got
so
nothing
on.
to do with fabric softener?
No. But someone that makes fabric softener still probably needs soft skills to work with it, you know.
So you're both smiling. What keeps you at Goodwill? What keeps you there? People job hop all of the time. What keeps you there?
Because for me personally, I think Goodwill is the best place ever to work. I have had several jobs in my life. I mean, obviously I'm older, but but Goodwill has been there for me. It's the only job that I really can honestly say I've enjoyed doing. And I feel very fulfilled in doing what I do. I love the fact that I can help people. It's just great.
Do you ever go home?
Yeah, I do.
But do you feel, I know he's young, but do you feel sometimes that you're missing out on stuff when you go home from work? That's how you know you really love your job, is when you don't want to leave.
Well, when I leave, it's closed.
And now you're younger, so
Yeah.
what keeps you there, or what brought you there?
Well, what brought me there, actually, before I started at Goodwill, and I started about 8 years ago, I was just finishing up college, a 4-year degree at UWGB, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. My degree was in communication and working with people, and so I really didn't know until I kind of walked into Goodwill, into our mission goal of job coaching and case management and working with people to help their employment goals. And the thing that really keeps me here, just to kind of reiterate some of what Terry said, is that the work matters. Not to say that it doesn't elsewhere, but it matters so much, and it's so present on the walls of our stores, in our mission statement, and our values, and everything else. It's just so present, you can't miss it. You can't help but be completely consumed by it. And it's that, along with the wonderful group of people at Goodwill. Wink, wink. No, but we have a good team. We have a good group of people with big hearts that we're there for a reason, and various reasons between the different programs and efforts that we have. So I definitely love working there, and I can see myself working there for quite a bit longer.
And I understand that, because I know sometimes when you get out of school, especially when I would interview interns, and they would talk about money, and I'm going, but what about job satisfaction and being happy with what you're doing? And I can see that you both are, because I am too. Where I am now, it's like, it's job satisfaction. You're helping people, you see the results. It's great. So I think Goodwill is kind of like reinvented itself over the years with all of the programs that it's done. Even the stores are more like a boutique now, where you go in and there's collections of stuff, either by color, design, or whatever. It's just, I think it's a really, really great program.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I agree.
So what else do you want to talk about? You want to go more into this, or do you have any other programs you want to talk about?
I can talk briefly about mine real quick, the Skills to Build program. For those that don't know, we help with the soft skills, work skills, and digital skills. And we do it all in our 35-county region. So whether you're in Oshkosh, whether you're in Appleton, wherever you're listening, we very likely can serve you. The eligibility is just simply the desire to learn. We're really trying to, this program was born truly out of the aspect that people want to learn, and sometimes they can't qualify for certain services based on their income, based on their demographic, this and that. We wanted to create a program that literally is, if you want to learn, we'll help you learn. And we do it in those 3 different ways. We can do that virtually, so it could be phone or a video call. It could also be in person. But I work with a team of individuals that we're serving the community, partnering with our career navigators that are in our retail stores to help also empower our team members for these very same things. So if you want to get involved, you just go to our website, goodwillncw.org, and look under Skills to Build.
And let's talk about community too, because the other place, Oshkosh is my hometown. I've worked here my entire life except when I was out for the ministry. Whether it was at Aurora or Father Carr's, if I ever had a need with a patient or a resident, I would call Goodwill, and they would just say, come on and get what you need for the patient. And I thought that was amazing. I didn't have a voucher to fill out. I didn't have to put in a request. They said, just come and do it. And they donate a lot. They donate a lot to agencies in town, which I like. So they're not, I love that the buzzword for a while was silo. Everybody's in their own silo. But it's nice when you collaborate. You're not just collaborating with, Rawhide and the tech, but you're collaborating with all the agencies in town. Yeah. And just by being here today, you're showing that you're willing to be part of our community, not stand alone, but you're part of the community working together, which I really do admire.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's interesting about the word that you said about silos is we talk about that internally pretty often, about how even us as a Goodwill, for a while, we did have our own silos and we did kind of have our own little areas, but as the years have gone on, we found so much more benefit in breaking down those silos. And I think being able to work together collaboratively inside our walls is also helping outside the walls, where you see this program get developed because of that collaboration aspect. So we love working with other organizations, and so maybe if you're an organization listening to this that you're potentially interested, wow, how could we partner with Goodwill and get involved with something like this, please give us a call as well.
And I think what you said too was important, that there are silos inside of a silo, because sometimes people are threatened. Workers are threatened when someone else wants to get in their business or help them out, but you're working as a team, and you're doing it for the whole benefit of the organization and the mission. So that was a good point that you brought up too.
I just wanted to go back to the Career Accelerator for just a minute.
We have a couple minutes. You can do it.
Not only are we trying to eliminate the barriers to employment, but we also are trying to help with the child care aspect, if that's a barrier. We're trying to help with the transportation, if that's a barrier. So we're trying to make sure that there is nothing that is stopping people from being able to gainfully.
How do you do that with, we talked about this before, how do you do it with child care? Are you working with other?
We are working with Fox Valley Technical College and YMCA. We're trying to work something out for the drop-off child care or in the Fox Valley Technical College. And once they become a student of Fox Valley Technical College, they get a free bus pass. So they are able to get the transportation from the busing service.
Okay.
So I had a meeting this morning with a credit union that is going to work with us on maybe being able to help some folks get cars that maybe don't have cars.
Because that is a major issue right there, like you said, transportation. And I know the bus route is good. St. Vinny's has the bus passes, but it's winter now. And that's really hard. And when I look at my residents at COTS, only half my residents have cars. So the others either walk to work or take the bus, or one has a job at the state, at Winnebago. But by the time he's done with work, the bus route is done. I mean, so that's really cool that you're working at transportation, but daycare also is huge. He is huge.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get all of those loose ends tied up, and this will be one of the most successful programs ever. That's my plan.
Oh, cool. Very good. Well, we have a couple minutes left if I'm doing my math right. Anything else? Anything you want to talk about, Goodwill? Any other programs?
Well, I would like to give Financial and Debt Solutions a little bit more time. We offer not only with the financial counseling and the budget counseling, we offer student loan counseling. We offer debt management plans, which is, if you're not familiar with that, it's a systematic way of paying down debt. We have it previously worked out with the creditors that they will accept less interest. So let's say you have a card that you're being charged 24.9% interest on. We can get that down to like 3% or 7%. And over a period of 4, 5, or 6 years, you get all your debt paid. So that they just this year extended it to a 6-year program, so that to pay down the debt. So I think that is a really strong feather in our cap.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And just thinking about the residents that we're dealing with, that's part of their problem is the debt,
Right.
or the credit cards, or paying off. And it's a learning experience for me now because we do budgeting with them and all that. But I can see a big collaboration
Right.
with that too, because that's the skills they need.
And we also offer what is called Payment Partner. It is a representative payee service. So their checks come in, we pay their budget expenses, their roof over their head, their food in their stomach, their utilities. And we take what they have left and we figure out how long till their next payday, and then a card is preloaded each week so they have their spending money and it lasts them all month.
That's needed. I mean, I see it a lot with people who can't manage their money,
Right.
no matter what the situation is.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, David, now you got to throw something out because she just gave 2 winners.
Yeah, fantastic. How do I pass that up? Well, the cool stuff that we have coming up, for those of you who are interested in learning skills, we have new resources and new platforms that we're working with now. So I'll highlight a couple of them real quick. One of them is the Skills to Succeed Academy, where if someone is looking to learn employability skills such as what kind of careers are out there, what does a career mean, exploring those, how to get a job, such as building a resume, filling out an application, interview practice, and then once you're in the job, how do you stay successful, with various soft skills. So that is actually a really cool program because it is all online, self-paced, and I know how busy and crazy lives can get. So we really tried to find some resources that could fit into people's schedules, which could be all over the place. And so if you're interested in that, please reach out and we can help connect you with that. And the other one that I wanted to touch base with really is our new soft skills curriculum. We had one that we were using since 2009, and they recently revamped it for this year with some additional resources and additional ways to support the people that we work with. And so really excited to use these new resources because it really helps empower us to empower you guys, anyone that's interested to learn. So more than happy to discuss further or answer any questions as people reach out, but we're really excited about it.
He tied you, Terry.
Okay.
He tied you.
Well, that's good.
Not that it's a competition.
Yeah. I want to say, too, that if you're looking for contact information, it's at the end of the screen. Otherwise, you always can call our show, too. Our time is winding down here. This was a very interesting show, and I hope our audience learned a lot more about Goodwill and all the goodwill it spreads in our wonderful community. Again, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you for watching our show. This was the January 2023 edition of The Place to Be Oshkosh. Thank you, and we'll see you next month.